Hi gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. Today I will be talking about some caramel fragrances in my perfume collection that I feel would be great for various occasions. In each of these fragrances I can perceive the note caramel, and each of these fragrances has a character of its own. And so if you're interested to talk caramel perfumes today, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning back in. I'm ready to jump into these fragrances, but before we do, I want to say hi to those of you who may be new here. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey like today, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle here and there. So if any of those things pique your interest, then I would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So for each of these fragrances, I will be posting the notes on the screen while I talk about how these fragrances smell. And as an added component to today's video, I will be sharing where I would wear these fragrances to or the appropriate occasions for these fragrances. The first fragrance is Al Rahab's French Coffee. I have been waiting to bring French coffee back out. And even though it is still warm where I live, I've been looking for occasions to wear this. So this fragrance is a fall winter fragrance, and it is a very casual fragrance. You can layer this fragrance with other more serious perfumes, but this is a very casual scent by itself. So French coffee smells like a fresh cup of coffee when you first spray it out. Then that coffee settles and it gets softer and you get those sweet and edible notes, with caramel being a very prominent note to my nose. I love the way caramel is done in here because, as I've mentioned previously, this is like a caramel macchiato, especially when paired with another more lactonic fragrance, any other creamy fragrance. This is going to give caramel macchiato. On its own though, especially on the dry down, I still get that creamer and that sweetener and that caramel syrup together with a caramel drizzle on top with this fragrance. The caramel in here is sticky sweet and slightly salty, and this is a more casual fragrance, so I would wear this at home on really cold days, especially in the morning, to kind of give me a little pick-me-up. And then I would also wear this out and about with another fragrance. I would wear this in the evening when I'm just hanging out at home. Anytime I want to feel like I'm sitting in a coffee shop with the coziest sofa, I would pull this out. So this is Al Rahab's French Coffee. The next caramel fragrance I have here is one that is pretty polarizing. Either you love this one or you hate it. I am in the camp of people who absolutely love this fragrance, especially after maceration. I enjoyed it when I first got it, but now that it's been macerating, I absolutely love this fragrance. This is Tasking Caramel Cascade by Paris Corner. If you love Arabian fragrances, I'm sure you've heard all about this one, and you know just how polarizing this one is. But when I tell you, I don't get anything bad from this fragrance, it is all good to my nose. And now it smells even more lactonic, and the caramel is amplified. The caramel is on level 10 right now. So to my nose, Tasking Caramel Cascade smells like a glass of milk with caramel syrup mixed in, and it's equal parts milk and equal parts caramel. That's what this smells like to my nose. The performance on this has also improved. This one is a high to moderate projector. High about the first few hours, and at about like the 6-hour mark, this is moderate. This is also very long lasting. All day wear for me, and when I wear it at night, when I wake up in the morning, it's still on my PJs. So the performance is there. I love the way this smells. The caramel is amplified times 10. And this is one that I would wear anywhere, really. This is one of the versatile caramel fragrances that I'll talk about today. So I would wear this by itself to go out. I would also wear this just hanging out at home. If I were going to a business meeting of some sort, I would spritz this on together with a more serious fragrance to add sweetness and a little bit of a caramel vibe. This is year-round for me. So this is one that I've had such a great experience with. This is Tasking Caramel Cascade by Paris Corner. Because we talked about Tasking Caramel Cascade, which is supposed to be a dupe for Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana, I also have to share another fragrance that is caramel prominent and also a dupe for Bianco Latte. And this is Eclair by Lattafa. So Eclair is one that people had a much better experience with. Most people like this one, and most people think this is way closer to Bianco Latte. And in my opinion, I do agree that this one is closer to the original. However, I think performance-wise, Caramel Cascade is probably closer. I've had this one for a few months now and the performance has improved drastically, but this is not like a beast mode fragrance like the original. I feel like this one gives you nice performance. It does a great job of encapsulating all of the goodness that is in Bianco Latte without being cloying or heavy or headache inducing or too dense. I think Lattafa did an amazing job with this fragrance. Smells to my nose exactly like Bianco Latte. The only difference is the performance. Now the caramel in here is so mouth-watering. It's a sticky sweet caramel, but it's almost like the caramel is mixed in with some thick, like heavy whipping cream, some sort of thicker lactonic component. It's almost like that caramel is mixed in with that. So there is that salty, sticky, sweet caramel in here. But in my opinion, the way this differs from a caramel cascade is this one is even more lactonic, but not just straight up milk. This is more like a cream or a heavy whipping cream with the caramel. However, all of that is done in a way that's not cloying or dense or too heavy. So again, for this one, I feel like it's an all occasion type of scent. You can layer it with other scents, and I love the versatility of this one. This is Eclair by Lattafa. I absolutely love the way caramel is done in this next fragrance. This fragrance is caramel done in the most sophisticated way possible. This is Tribeca by Bond No. 9. This is one of the fragrances where caramel is not overdone and caramel is not center stage. However, the absence of caramel in this fragrance, I feel, would make it completely different. I feel like caramel is a grounding note, a foundational note, and the caramel is at the base of this fragrance, but I feel like I start picking up on that caramel at the mid. I also pick up on the ambroxan that's in this fragrance at the mid as well. So for me, I get the nuttiness in the opening. I get the jasmine as it starts to dry down, mixed with that caramel, and then it gives me this airy quality that is similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. And this fragrance definitely puts me in the mind of Baccarat Rouge 540, except that this one, of course, has those sweet, nutty, creamy, and edible smelling components. There is a cacao in here, but I feel like the cacao is very subtly done as well because it doesn't really stand out per se. This one is soft, it's inoffensive. The caramel in here is blended seamlessly with the other notes, which keeps this fragrance from being too sweet. So if you're not into really super duper sweet fragrances, but you still enjoy some level of sweetness, you enjoy a light and airy sweet fragrance, this might be one to check out to get a sample of. It's really good. This bears a niche price tag and I can totally see why. This is a great fragrance for the office, perhaps for an interview, for meeting with friends, for family get-togethers. This is a very universal fragrance because of how good it smells. It smells very inviting, yet very light, so it is inoffensive. So one for various different occasions. This is Tribeca by Bond No. 9. This next one is so fun and so delicious. It's a new discovery for me and I cannot wait to get a full bottle of this fragrance. This is Carousel by Brown Girl Jane. Although caramel is not one of the listed notes, this has a caramel accord. Think of caramel covered apples, and that'll give you more of an idea of the type of caramel in this fragrance. The caramel here is coating all of the other sweet fruity notes, and there are also woody and leather accords in the background of this fragrance. So this fragrance is sexy and sensual. This is date night vibes, y'all. I cannot get over the caramel accord in this fragrance. I love the way the sticky sweet saltiness of the caramel is shining through those other fruity and warm and woody and leathery touches. This is such an impressive fragrance in terms of the scent. It smells so high quality and it's perfect for this fall and winter. In the opening, this has a spun sugar and apple, and I think it's the spun sugar that's giving off off that caramel accord and this caramel candy coated apple sort of vibe. And then at the base of this fragrance, you have leather and cherry. And if you're not into cherry, you're not like the biggest cherry fragrance lover, the cherry in here is not overdone. It's perfect. And the cherry in here is like a dark, deep, very sweet, overripe cherry. And then the leather in here is also not overdone. So overall, my experience with this is it has been amazing. It's an incredible fragrance. This fragrance projects for me for about 6 hours. It lasts all day on the clothes. I've worn this to bed several different times, and when I woke up in the morning, it was emanating off of my PJs. Hubby was able to perceive it when I woke up in the morning. So a very beautiful fragrance. I had to shout this one out. This is Brown Girl Jane's Carousel. And the last fragrance I have here is one of my absolute favorite fragrances. I have not been able to pick this up because it was just too hot and humid for this fragrance. But y'all, I am too excited to pull this back out this season. And this is Mula Mula Double Caramel by Byron Parfum. I did talk about Mula Mula on the channel when I first picked it up. I will link the video here for you. But Mula Mula Double Caramel is like the original Mula Mula, if you're familiar, except that this has an exceptional caramel note. With time, the caramel in this fragrance intensifies. It gets deeper and sweeter. And I love this fragrance more now today than when I first purchased it. The caramel is so delicious. This particular fragrance is unisex, but this is also a femme fatale type of fragrance. This is the type of fragrance I would wear when I want to make a statement. It's so bold, it commands attention, it projects immensely for the first several hours. So we're talking high projection for the first 3 to 4 hours, and then moderate projection up to the 6-hour mark. Then you're gonna smell this on your clothes all day long. This fragrance will be in my hair until I wash my hair, and on my clothes until I wash my clothes. So after having this for about a year, maybe more, performance is incredible. There is a double dose of caramel in this fragrance. You get it in the opening and you get it at the mid. And the caramel in here is like a fruit and caramel sauce. So like a reduction of fruit and caramel. That's how it's done. Equal parts caramel and equal parts fruit. This is sensual, it's sexy, it's date night vibes. That's where I would wear this fragrance. And this will be in heavy rotation for me this fall and winter. This is Mula Mula Double Caramel by Byron Parfum. Thank you so much for still being here. We have come to the end of this video. But before we go, I want you to know how grateful I am that you are here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like on your way out. And if you enjoy fragrance content, I make quite a bit of it here on this channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to turn on that notification bell so you never miss another video. As you get ready to step out into the rest of your day, I want to remind you that you owe it to yourself to see the best version of you. There's a future version of you that is absolutely amazing. And every single decision you make today can get you closer and closer to meeting that more amazing version of yourself. And to illustrate what I mean by that, I'll give you a personal example. I have been on a fitness journey that has spanned maybe about 4 years now. And sometimes when I look back at pictures and I think about what I used to look like, and when I think back to how I used to feel and how I used to present in the world, I can see the growth. And it makes me so happy that I put the work in because I got to meet this version of myself. And I'm saying this, but I still have a ways to go. But man, am I so thankful that I did the little things, that I did the hard things, that I put one foot in front of the other, and that I made those decisions that allowed me to meet this version of myself. If I hadn't put the work in, I would never know what my body looks like as it does in this current moment. And I would never have met this more disciplined version of myself, this stronger version of myself in every sense of the word. So to reiterate, you owe it to yourself to do what it takes to meet that better version of yourself. So I hope that encouraged you today. As always, I will be over here reflecting on the same. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.